Hello, kindergarten. I'm here to teach you some games that we can play with tools we might be able to find around our house so that we can keep working on our math skills. Some of you might have used these same tools in your classroom, so this should seem familiar to you. And if not, you'll at least understand the concept. I might be giving you a new way to look at it. Isn't that fun? Okay, so these are kinds of games that you could play by yourself or with a partner, or maybe even with your whole family. So, lots of options. I want to see what you can do with all these games. Okay, so I'm going to use a dice. I just dug through my board games and I pulled out a dice, and I'm going to use it to work on some math strategies like adding, subtracting, and talking about more or less, comparing numbers. Okay. All right. So first, I'm just going to take my dice and I'm going to roll it one time. I rolled a 1. All right. Now, I don't know about you. Sometimes Mrs. Schmidt has a hard time remembering things for more than a short time. I'm a little afraid I'm going to forget my numbers. So I went ahead and drew a tens frame. Remember, that means it has 10 spaces. And I'm going to use that to hold on to my numbers. That way I don't forget them over time. All right, so I'm going to put my 1 in my tens frame. If you don't need that strategy, perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to roll my dice a second time. Ooh, this time I got a 3. Okay, now I already know I have a 1 and I held on to it in my tens frame. I want to add to it, which means I'm going to put two numbers together to make more. So I had my 1, now I need to add on my 3 more. So we have 1, 2, 3. Now all together, I'm going to count them. Ready? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Who remembers? What was the first number that I rolled? You're right. It was a 1. Okay, so I have a 1 plus, yes, 3 more. And together, when I take 1 plus 3 more, I made 4. Okay? So then I can keep playing. I can erase my work and I can roll 2 more numbers, add them together to see how much I can make all at the same time. All right, the next strategy I can use is subtraction. Okay, well, I know when I have to take things away, I have to start with the larger number. So I'm going to roll my dice again. This time I got a 4. Okay, well, lucky for me, I already have 4 dots in my tens frame from the last game. Okay, but I'm going to write it down here. That way I don't forget. Now, the next number I roll has to be smaller than 4 or I can't use it. Watch. Oh, gracious. I got a 6. Is that going to help me? Not quite. Not in this problem. So I'm going to roll again. Ooh, I got a 2. Is that less than 4? Yes. Okay, so I can take 2 away from 4. If I have 4 chocolate chip cookies, I could eat 2 of them and still have some left, right? Oh, I think I just gave you the answer. Don't tell anybody. Okay, so I had 4, but I'm going to take away 2. That means in my tens frame, I need to cross out 2 of them, and I need to see how many are left. My number should be smaller than what I started with. So if I have 4 and I took away 2, how many are left? 2. Good job. Okay, so 4 chocolate chip cookies and 2 go away. I still have 2 to save for tomorrow. Yes. Okay, that is how you can use your dice for adding and subtracting. We also could talk about greater than, less than. We kind of did already when we were looking at subtraction because we needed the second number to be less than the first number. So let's just do it with the dice for fun. I roll the dice. I see that I have a 2. Lock that into your brain. 2. Okay. Then I roll again and I have a 4. All right. I already had a, what was it? A 2. And now I have a 4. Okay, so 2 and 4. Which number is greater? The larger one. Which number is smaller or less than? 2. All right, so 4 chocolate chip cookies or 2? Which would you rather have? 4. Nice job. Okay, so simple. We can just use a dice and compare numbers. We can put them together. We can take them apart and see how many we have left. All right, so some other tools that I have around my house, maybe you do too, that would help with those same strategies are things like this. We use spinners at school sometimes. They look different than this. I found this in a fishing game that my boys have at home. So it has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could make this a different number, or I could just make it 0. Okay, I could spin once, see what number it is, spin again, see what number it is, and add them together or compare them more than less than. Okay. Um, my kids also love dominoes. Maybe you have dominoes around your house. So you could use dominoes for adding and subtracting too. Let's take a look at this guy right here. It says we have 1 plus 6 more. So hold 1 in your head and we're going to count up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 plus 6 equals 7. Or I could flip it over. Now I have 6, take away 1. Ooh, hold 6 in your head and count backwards 1. 6, 5. How many would be left if I had 6 and I took away 1? 5. See? So dominoes are a good tool for that. You even could compare them. 6 is greater than 1 and 1 is less than 6. Then my kids like to do domino trains. So that is just making sure that they match the numbers. So if this domino is what they have, and then they happen to find this domino, they put them end to end, and then over the floor they make a domino train. So what number would they need to look for next to connect here? A 4. Good. And over here, we would need another 0. Okay, so lots of fun tools that you might have around your house. One more quick thing I want to share with you is how maybe you can use playing cards to play some games at home. So maybe you have regular playing cards, or maybe you have a fun game like this that are more for kids. So this is a game called War. If you've never played it before, I'm just going to show you really quickly how you could play War. So you split the deck so that you and your partner each have half, okay? Then each of you lays a card out in the middle. You flip it over. Now I'm going to look at which card has the greater number, the larger number, and then that person, yes, gets to keep those 2 cards. I put them in my pile. Then we flip again, and we see who has the greater number. Can you tell? 3 is greater than 2, so they get to keep those cards. And you keep going until you end up with cards. Oh no, cards that are the same. They are equal. That means we get to have a war. So I'm going to lay my cards down. Then we both put one more on top. Then we both flip the next one. And whoever has the greater number gets to take all of those cards from our war. So who has the greater number? We have a 10 and we have a 5. I lost. So this friend gets to take all the cards from the war. And you keep going until everybody or somebody runs out of all their cards. Okay? All right. So we can use dice. We can use dominoes. We can use spinners. We can use playing cards. There's all kinds of tools that you probably have around your house to play games that you're already used to playing with your teacher at school. I hope you're going to practice hard for us and keep having a good time. Bye, friends.